I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same.
So I just got this new scale from INEVIFIT. I don't really weigh myself that often, and honestly I have 2 other scales in the house. One of them can't even see what the display is anymore. The LED is so bad, and the other one, the batteries are dead and I never charged them. So I have this new one, and just in time for a little experiment I am going to be doing today. So let me set this bad boy up and weigh myself. So pretty simple, guys. Just take it out of the package, put the batteries in it, and then to calibrate, all you need to do is touch it and then just make sure it's 0. So you always want to make sure it's a 0 before you step on it. And anytime you move it, you kind of have to recalibrate it as well. So just make sure it's at 0. Then you step on it, and it also changes to kilograms as well. But I have mine set up on pounds, so I am going to weigh in. And I normally weigh myself, when I weigh myself, which isn't very often, naked and in the morning. It's late morning, so that's the same, but I am going to keep my clothes on because I'm doing a little experiment today, and I'm going to compare the weight that this scale shows me at with a scale from my body scan that I'm going to be doing. So let me step on the scale and see where it's at. So I do feel like it's pretty accurate. That's what, if I would have guessed my weight right before I stepped on that scale, I would have thought I was like 122 or so with clothes on, because I'm pretty close to 120 right now. So I think that this is pretty accurate. I am going to be getting a body scan today, so we will be able to test the accuracy of this scale. Then I'll know if it's reliable. But what I like about it is it's super simple, right? It's just put batteries in, calibrate it, boom, you get your scale, you get your weight. Those scales that are out there, you guys, that measure body fat and have all these special features, they're really not very accurate. Your body fat percentage does not fluctuate tons of percentage points throughout the day, or your lean muscle mass. And on the other scales that I have used, every time my weight changes, all of a sudden, like, it says that I gained 3% lean muscle, or I gained 5% body fat. I mean, like, it's impossible to fluctuate that much day to day. So those just are not very accurate, and the technology just isn't there yet. So all you need in terms of a scale is a good quality display, simple, that you don't have to put all these profiles in and all this stuff. I mean, you just need your weight, and you need to make sure that it's accurate. So that's why I like this one from INEVIFIT. I'll link it down below. Super simple, super affordable, nice big display. My last 2 scales that I had, the display went out very quickly and it just wasn't as bright. And again, I like that it's just simple. So if I can rely on it for an accurate weight, that's all I need out of a scale. I don't believe in weighing yourself 25 million times a week. 1 time per week is sufficient. That's the first time I've weighed myself in a long time, and you guys got to see it. I don't really weigh myself, but I could have guessed my weight because I know my body so well, and I fluctuate from 115 to 120 pounds. That's usually like my 5-pound fluctuation, that depending on my cycle, just how clean I'm eating. For the most part, I stay within that 5-pound range, and I've stayed within that 5-pound range for the last 4 years. So I've been really consistent there. So let me talk a little bit about what I'm up to. I'm actually headed to San Francisco, which is about 50 miles away from my home. So that's going to be a little bit of a journey, but to a place called Bodyspec, and I am going to get a Dexa scan. And what that is going to tell me is how much I weigh. So it's going to be a good opportunity to really test out the accuracy of this scale. And it's going to give me my bone density, my lean muscle mass, and my fat percentage. It's going to be all laid out in a chart, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I've never done something like this before. I'm going to guess that I'm somewhere around 23-24% body fat. I think the scale will weigh me in at, obviously I would have guessed around 122 with clothes on. Now that I know, I'm not really guessing. I'm gonna guess that it's gonna weigh me around 121, 122, assuming this scale is pretty accurate. And the rest, I just don't even know. I literally have no idea. All right, guys, we are off to San Francisco, which is the location of Bodyspec, which is where I'm going to be getting my scan. So come along with us, and let's see what it's like. I don't know anything about it, so it should be interesting.
Like my life inside a car, hit the button, drive real far, put that record on me like,
All right, guys, this is the first leg of our adventure. It's in San Francisco, Bodyspec, and we're about 50 miles south of San Francisco. A lot of traffic on Friday, so we are taking BART, which is the, I don't know what you call this, rapid transit for California. It's kind of like the, New York subway kind of thing. But this will get us there without traffic and without stress, so let's go.
I can't wait to leave this town, cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Like my life inside a car, hit the button, drive real far, put that record on me like, I'm dreaming of you, I dream of a new night.
Alright, you guys, we made it to Bodyspec here in San Francisco, so I'm about to go inside. We're gonna find out my body fat percentage, my weight, all that good stuff, so let's see.
I can't wait to leave this town, cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Like my life inside a car, hit the button, drive real
What's
far.
up, guys? I am back. The magic of YouTube, right? For you guys, it's seconds. For me, it was an entire day. It is now the afternoon, and I am back from Bodyspec. So I went to Bodyspec in San Francisco, as you know, and I have my results in this little folder. But before we go over the results, I just want to put it out there for you guys that I'm perfectly happy with the way that I am right now. I'm perfectly happy. I'm content. This is the reason why I haven't really been, I don't track food, or I'm not super strict on specific macros, because I'm just living my life of balance and I'm happy. But that being said, I like to challenge myself, and I like a challenge. And in order for me to really challenge myself and see what areas I can improve upon, I need a baseline. It's kind of the same thing, when I'm working with clients. I just need to know where they're at. in order to determine if what we're doing is making the right changes to their body, right? You need a baseline. And I really, not only do I not weigh myself because I'm not a slave to the scale, I've never done a body scan, like I discussed, and I just have no idea where I'm at. So in order to see if the things that I change about my nutrition and my fitness are impacting my body, I need to have a baseline. So now I have a baseline. I also actually did a Instagram poll, and I posted on Instagram that I was getting scanned and wanted to ask everybody to guess what my fat percentage would be. And I knew that people would not figure it out. No one even came close. Not even my husband, who is a certified master trainer, not even he guessed right. I was pretty close though in my prediction, but nobody was even close. And it just goes to show you how the perception of body composition is pretty skewed out there. Now, let me show you this photo. In this photo, I was at the leanest that I have ever been. I weighed 109 pounds, and my body fat percentage, it wasn't done via a Dexa scan back then, it was done with calipers, but was estimated to be 14 to 15%. So at this amount of muscle and leanness, as you can see, I'm extremely lean in this photo. I can't stand this picture because when I'm lean like that, I look so old. But anyways, that's 15% body fat. So I, in all fairness, had that to go by. So I knew that was 15%. So earlier on in this video, when my guesstimate was 22% or so, it's because I knew that at 109 pounds on the stage, I was 15% body fat. But let's get into the results. So I just wanted to give you some context around how I knew pretty much where I was at. And I'm well versed at looking at bodies. That's why oftentimes I'll just have my clients send me a picture and I can guess their body percentage pretty well just by looking at them. And I'm pretty close, I would say, give or take a couple of percentage points. As you can see by this chart, it's actually helpful visual too. I just think that people don't realize that women carry a lot more fat and that, our numbers tend to be higher. So without further ado, let's go over my results. So I will put them up so you can see them. Ta-da! My weight, as you can see, is 120.6 pounds. So let's go back to the INEVIFIT scale for a second. Very accurate, right? I think it weighed me at 121.2 and I had wet hair at the time. So pretty happy with the scale because when my hair dried up, obviously I got a little less on the scale, but it's pretty close to what this body scanner is, which is cool because from here on out, I kind of know I have one accurate scale that I can rely on, even though I'm still not going to be a slave to the scale. So my, as you can see, my weight 120.6, but look at that body fat percentage, guys, 26.2%. I'm still, in about the 20th percentile for my age range, at 26%, but a little higher than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. I thought I was more 23-24% range, but again, important for me to stress again, I'm happy with the way that I look. Here it is again. I did like this front side view, rear view for you guys to get a really good picture of that's what 26% body fat looks like. So I'm happy with the way that I look. I would, I feel a little flabby in certain areas that I would like to tighten up. I'd like to drop my fat percentage a little bit, and that's again why I did this test, because I'm going to be making some changes. I'm going to kind of tighten up the ship a little bit when I return from vacation, and I wanted to see if the changes that I'm going to make are making an impact. So I'm going to take you guys along with that journey, and I'm going to show you when I retest. So I've decided that I'm going to retest in about 5 weeks, so the beginning of September. And we'll see, what changes I I'm able to make by then. I'm going to tweak my macros a little bit. I'm going to start tracking my food again, just because I have some goals. Not huge goals for now. I just want to drop my body fat percentage. I want to increase my lean tissue. It's currently 83.3. So I'd like to increase that, drop my fat, and just make some good body composition changes. I don't care at all about my weight. I have no care in the world about my weight. If I were to go back and weigh in again, and my total mass is 125 pounds, but my body fat percentage is 20, I would be shouting to the rooftops. So just a good example of how the scale is really just one measurement of, progress. Only one tiny little measurement, and it's a convenient measurement because you could have it at home. I'm not necessarily going to get a scan once a week, right? Although it would be nice, but I'm not. And the cool thing about this is that now that I have a baseline, you see in these other sheets, it shows my baseline. So it'll show my change every time I go. So that's really cool. So you guys will be along on that journey with me. So we'll see how I do when I start taking some of my own advice. Because what I always tell my clients when they're not progressing or stagnant or stalled is, are you tracking? Because that is the number one way to break a stall, make progress, is to really be in tune with what macros you're hitting. And I'm not tracking. So the fact that I have been able to cruise for as long as I've been cruising, and not gained weight and been really just loose is pretty awesome. And I'm really happy with the way my body looks. I'm just experimenting because I'm a keto coach, I'm a nutrition coach, I'm a fitness coach. That's what I do. I have to put my own coaching skills to the test on myself. I do it with food all the time. And so now I'm gonna do it with some hardcore stats. So yeah, that should be exciting. I'm excited to see where I land. So we will revisit this topic in September when I test again, and hopefully there'll be some improvements. Let me just give you guys a closer look. So I would like to reduce the number of pounds of fat for sure. But I'm right here at the cusp, almost at the less than 20th percentile. So, I'd say I'm doing pretty good. Here is the image of like my body. What I found interesting was that in my younger years and before keto, I had a lot more fat in this area right here in my stomach. Now, as you can see, there's very little fat. The red is the fat, right? There's very little fat in here. My fat is really in my thighs. Look at my thighs is carrying the majority of my fat. So it's kind of all gone down. Also my legs. So my legs and thighs and my midsection is, so my waist to hip ratio is actually really good. But I'm not going crazy when my body composition changed with the ketogenic diet. It definitely changed. I used to have a lot of my fat in my midsection. So I think that here on the back, here is my waist to hip ratio, which the ideal is to be less than 1, and I'm at 0.5. So definitely good. This is interesting. I'm actually going to go back for this particular test. It's an RMR test, and it's more accurate than this. It's an actual very accurate test on what your resting metabolic rate is. But this information is pretty consistent with my Fitbit. So basically this is if I literally was in a chamber and did absolutely no movement, that's how many calories my body needs in order to function. And so you take your exercise and activity calories burned and you add that to get your total daily energy expenditure. And then to create a deficit, you have to eat less than your total daily energy expenditure. So this is pretty in line with what I thought it was. So no surprises there. I do have some very little bit of visceral fat. The goal is less than 2 pounds. That's ideal. I'm 0.57, and it is right in here inside, a little bit right there inside my stomach organs. So the goal would be to reduce that. I want nothing. I want no visceral fat. ideal target is 0. So I want 0, but under 2 is still good. So anyways, I have some areas for improvement. It's great to have this baseline, and I'm excited to go do some additional testing with Bodyspec. This is the company. Check them out, or look up, you know, in your area, what type of scanning options. This is called a Dexa scan. So you can check that out. Super accurate. It's the best technology right now on the market for body fat testing. I also should probably point out that in between now, which is September 19th, July 19th, Friday, July 19th, and that September testing date, and I'm going to do it like right around Labor Day, so the beginning of September, I have a vacation planned. Yes, I do. I'm going to Mexico, and I'm also going to put my coaching into play in Mexico. I am going to practice what I preach, what I normally do, but I don't usually document it, and I'm going to document it for you guys. So make sure, if you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to be notified when I release new videos, because my next video is going to be a vlog of my trip, and I'm going to show you how I practice balance, yet moderation, and still stay active, and how I kind of give up keto, and then I'll weigh in again after my trip and all that good stuff. So make sure you follow along with my journey. I'm going to be very transparent for you guys, even more transparent than I've ever been. I think it's just so important to experiment and show you guys that I'm human. And let me make a prediction right now. I predict I'm going to step on the scale after the trip, and I will document everything for you. I will predict that I will gain about 5 pounds of water and probably about 2 pounds of actual pounds just from margaritas and chips and guac, my favorite thing. So I'll probably be about 127 pounds. That's my prediction. And I predict that it'll take me less than 2 weeks to get back to 120. So now you have it. My predictions are out there. Make sure you tune in. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all of the support on my channel. I've been really trying to spend a lot of time here on YouTube and grow my channel, and I really appreciate all of you who have subscribed. If you are watching this and haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Also comment down below. Let me know what you think about my stats. And if you have any questions about Bodyspec, I'm going to link all the information down below. I'll also put all my stats down below, so if you want to see them written out, you can. Again, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down.